Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is literally all around us, the built environment. It's the invisible framework of human civilization, basically the physical spaces we engineered to make our daily lives happen. We're going to break down the structural foundations of urban design and see exactly how our modern world is put together.
To get right to the core of it, let's look at organic growth versus human intervention. A tree? That's the natural world. It evolves without us lifting a finger. But a house? That's calculated construction. This transition from natural landscapes to human engineered environments is really the baseline for everything we're looking at today.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Built environment. 2. Policies. 3. Infrastructure. 4. Technology. 5. Diagrams. And 6. Memory, tip, and review. We're actually using a handy little framework here, BPITD. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The built environment.
So what exactly is it? When we talk about the built environment, we mean absolutely everything made by people so we can live, work, and travel. It's the total sum of human intervention on the natural landscape. We're talking about the tangible footprint of society, scaling all the way from a single stretch of sidewalk up to massive, interconnected metropolitan hubs. When you look at the civic structures of any city, you start to see this incredible, interconnected web of human activity. Zoning dictates exactly where we place essential services, things like hospitals and schools, relative to commercial zones or airports. These aren't just random buildings scattered around. They function as a complete, integrated network designed to sustain human life, keep commerce moving, and maintain civic order.
Moving on to Section 2. Environmental policies.
Because, as you know, urban planning isn't just about pouring concrete and hoping for the best. It takes rigorous oversight. Policies are essentially the rules that guide how land is used and protected. Think of them as the regulatory framework that shapes the spatial realities of our cities and ensures we grow sustainably.
In the real world, these restrictions dictate what can and cannot be built on specific plots of land. By keeping certain areas exclusively for parks and conservation, we actually protect nature and reduce our environmental impact, even in dense urban centers. Ultimately, this careful regulation keeps our communities safe and organized. Making sure a heavy manufacturing plant isn't dropped right next door to a residential neighborhood.
Which brings us to Section 3. Infrastructure.
Infrastructure is all about the fundamental structures built to meet our everyday societal needs. Think of it like this. If buildings are your destinations, infrastructure is the journey. It comprises the invisible lifelines, the basic systems like roads and bridges that connect everything and allow a modern economy to actually function.
The true engineering marvel of a city is how all these layers seamlessly integrate. Underground, you've got this silent, complex network of sewer systems and water lines. Right above that, electricity and telecommunications grids are literally powering the metropolis, and then at the surface layer it all culminates in road networks, public transit, and the green infrastructure that supports the buildings themselves. It's like a giant multi-layered puzzle.
And the reason these systems matter so much is capacity. Robust roads, bridges, and well-supported homes and hospitals, they dictate the maximum scale and the standard of living for an entire population. They absolutely support our daily life, helping people live and work efficiently day in and day out.
All right, Section 4. Technology.
Now, when we say technology in the context of the built environment, we aren't just talking about computers. We're strictly talking about the tools, materials, and methods used to build things. It's the applied engineering needed to take an architectural blueprint and make it a physical reality. Things like using high-tensile steel and reinforced concrete have fundamentally changed the physical limits of urban density. You combine those materials with heavy, mechanized equipment used to build roads, and suddenly construction is way faster. It lets us engineer structures that are exponentially stronger and safer than at any other point in human history.
Next up, Section 5. Label diagrams. Before you even think about laying a foundation, everything exists purely as a spatial abstraction. Label diagrams are those named drawings that show the specific parts of buildings or systems. They act as the universal language for architects and engineers, translating incredibly complex systems into precise, actionable plans.
Whether it's a diagram of a house or a drawing of a multi-lane highway system, visual spatial planning is absolutely crucial. It helps us understand exactly how things are built and makes learning about them so much easier. Planners can spot structural conflicts and fix logistical problems long before a single shovel hits the dirt.
Let's bring it all together in Section 6, Memory Tip and Review.
Remember that acronym we mentioned earlier, BPTID?
It's a fantastic structural framework. B for the built environment, P for policies, I for infrastructure, T for technology, and D for diagrams. Keep this model in mind, and you've got a comprehensive mental model for reverse engineering how any modern settlement actually functions.
To quickly summarize our takeaways, we now know what the built environment is. We've looked at examples of buildings and infrastructure, and we see why both rules and technology matter so much. Ultimately, the entire goal of this massive human undertaking is to help people live, work, and travel safely.
So let's do a rapid-fire review. First, what is the built environment conceptually? Take a second. Right, it's the sum total of everything designed and constructed by human beings to optimize where we live, work, and travel.
Question 2. Give one example of infrastructure. Well, you could say roads, bridges, or schools. Those aren't just concrete and steel. They're the vital, life-sustaining arteries of a city.
And lastly, why are environmental policies important? Exactly, because this massive scale of construction requires governments to protect nature and maintain safety. We construct the rules that dictate our physical spaces. But I'll leave you with a bit of an architectural paradox to think about. The next time you step outside, take a look at the streets, the grids, and the buildings around you, and ask yourself, are we shaping our built environment or is it secretly shaping us?